Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. We are on the island today. We're here for the Policy Conference put on by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we have Brandy Johnson with us, and she, of course, is the CEO, the Grand Poobah of the Michigan Community Colleges Association. So welcome, and I got to tell you, you guys do a marvelous job of stopping on a dime and putting in curriculum that is needed by, in particular, the business community.
Yeah, the Michigan Community College Association represents Michigan's 28 public community colleges, and that is one of their strengths, to really be nimble to respond to local and regional workforce needs.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the history of it and why it was started, that makes some sense, training people for the workforce after World War II. Let's talk a little bit about your association, some of the challenges that are out there right now for community colleges, and then we're going to get to what was a pretty important announcement recently.
Yeah, great. So the Michigan community colleges play such a vital role and really are true infrastructure within communities in every corner of the state. Of course, our community colleges rely on public investment from the state legislature. We're really pleased on how budget negotiations have been going, and I think the legislature and the governor's office recognize the need to invest in community colleges to ensure that they remain accessible and affordable for Michiganders.
Yeah, well, that's important, and we historically we haven't probably poured as much money into education as we should have over the years, so we're playing a little catch up right now. Let's talk about the announcement that just came out, because, as you know, business has a shortage of talent in all areas, but in one particular one.
It's particularly acute in nursing, and really the pandemic had made a really bad problem much worse. And we know not only do we need a far greater number of nurses across the state, the field is really demanding a more educated nurse. The expectation amongst hospital systems is that more and more nurses have bachelor's degrees or BSNs, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, as opposed to an associate degree in nursing, which is a great place to start, but really the labor market is demanding more bachelor degree educated nurses.
Yeah. So you had an announcement that's going to put you right in the middle of this.
Exactly. So in partnership with the Michigan Association of State Universities, the Michigan Independent Colleges and Universities, the Michigan Health and Hospital Association, we have proposed a $56 million investment to really use community colleges as places where RNs that have an associate degree can come back in an affordable, efficient, and accessible way, really complete their bachelor's degree. So how it would work is if I am a nurse in a community, I have my associate degree, I'm working at a hospital, I could participate in a BSN completion program at a community college in partnership with a university. So that university partner will push in to really help teach that third and fourth year while still allowing that nurse to continue working and get that bachelor's degree in a very convenient way. If passed by the legislature, this funding would allow us to stand up 28 of these completion sites. So even if you live in a rural community without access to a nearby university, you'd be able to still get that bachelor's degree education using the infrastructure that a community college provides.
And this would apply to nursing, the nursing curriculum only.
Yeah, that's right. Although we certainly think it could be a model for other professions, certainly teaching, police and fire. I think that these real essential workers, need a place where that they can start a career with an associate degree, but pretty quickly advance into a bachelor's degree. And what's the magical part is the partnership between the 2-year and 4-year institutions.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you're filling a void there, because those jobs you talked about are not really facilitated at the 4-year colleges for the most part.
I think that this presents a really great opportunity and just a different pathway, particularly for adults. If you are 25 and older, we now have Michigan Reconnect, which provides a tuition-free pathway to an associate degree for an individual. So if you're 25 and older, it's even that much more accessible because you can get your first 2 years paid for through an investment from the state of Michigan.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Okay, so where do you go from here? I mean, you're tackling nursing now. Again, talent is still is there another sector you're going to go after?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the teacher shortage is what is really being talked about in Lansing and in every community that I visit. So I think that's a really interesting one to explore. If there is a possibility or a pathway where community colleges could be leveraged to get more teachers in the classroom.
So community colleges do kind of differ demographically as to where they are. I remember like Schoolcraft had a wonderful culinary program, et cetera, et cetera. What is the consistent piece from community college to community college?
Well, certainly the transfer pathway. So many individuals want to do their first 2 years of college, those gen ed requirements, in an affordable way close to home before transferring to a 4-year university. So all of our community colleges participate in that. And really across the state, we know that the programs that are filling up are advanced manufacturing, health sciences, IT, and skilled trades. And so at every community college, you can certainly see programming in those fields.
Yeah. So the state budget has been maybe a little easier because we've got more money, right? Do you kind of see that consistently going on? Do we have this governor is educationally oriented, so that's not a fight. The question is, I guess, what do you see going forward?
Really, our legislature right now is really all in on talent investment. You hear it in every corner of this conference how important workforce development and talent investment is, and there are just some phenomenal legislative leaders that really value investments in workforce, and it's a true opportunity for bipartisanship. You know, Michigan Reconnect, I think, really represents perhaps the biggest bipartisan accomplishment that the administration and the legislature accomplished during her first term, and so certainly proud of that.
There you go. Well, Brandy Johnson, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck running the Michigan Community College Association.
Thanks so much for having me.
Keep filling our needs, will you? All right. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, coming to you from Mackinac Island at the Policy Conference, and we'll be back with more.